Myself Sandhiri Shweta, working as an assistant professor in EC department in St. Peter's Engineering College. Today I'm going to discuss a topic from the subject linear IC applications. The topic is, subject name is subject name IC applications. The topic which I am going to discuss is, in linear ICs we have number of ICs, IC 741, IC 555, IC 723. So we have number of linear ICs. IC 741 is called as op-amp. IC 555 is timer. IC 723 is voltage regulator. So these are some of the linear ICs, IC 741, IC 555 and IC 723. Today I am going to discuss about IC 741, which is operational amplifier. So just a small information regarding the IC 741 is, it is the 8-pin IC available in DIP package. Dual inline package. So IC 741 is a 8-pin IC. The IC pin diagram is like this. IC 741, pin number 1, 2, pin number 3 and pin number 4. The side we will take pin 5, 6, 7, 8. It has two input pins. One is inverting input at pin number 2 and the other input pin is non-inverting input, which is available at pin 3, and the output we will collect at pin 6. Let this input be V1 and let this input be V2, and it has two supply voltages, which is minus VCC at pin 4 and plus VCC at pin 7, and the remaining 3 pins, pin number 8 is no connection, pin 1 is offset and pin 5 is also offset. This is the pin diagram of IC 741. I repeat, this consists of two input pins. One is inverting input and one is non-inverting input. And the output we collected pin number 6. And the other two pins, minus VCC at pin 4 and plus VCC at pin 7. It has no connection pin at 8 and pin 1 and 5 we use for offset. This is the pin diagram of IC 741. And we also see the symbol of operational amplifier, which is IC 741. The pin diagram we have seen, and now we will see the symbol of IC 741 op-amp. It's in triangle shape. This is pin 2 at inverting terminal, and this is pin 3, which is at non-inverting input terminal. Output we usually collect at pin number 6. This is pin 3 is non-inverting input. Let us name it as V1. Pin 2 is inverting input. Let us name it as V2. And V0 at pin 6 output. It has two supply voltages. At 4th terminal we have minus VCC, pin 6, this is 2, this is 3, so this is V1, this is V2 and V0. At pin 4 we have minus VCC, at pin 7 we have plus VCC. This is IC741 op-amp symbol. It is triangle in shape. The main pins we need to remember is pin 2, pin 3. Pin 3 is non-inverting input, pin 2 is inverting input, pin 6 we collect the output and it has two supply voltages at 4th pin and at 7th pin, minus VCC and plus VCC. So this operational amplifier has number of applications. It has open loop applications, it has closed loop applications. So open loop and the closed loop. Open loop means without applying any feedback. Feedback is nothing but the output V0, which is at pin 6, can be connected to the pin number 2 or at pin number 3. If it is not connected in any manner, output pin is not connected to pin 2 or not connected to pin 3, it is called open loop. And if the pin 6 is connected to pin 2 through some feedback element, or if pin 6 is connected to pin 3 through some feedback element, then it is called as closed loop. So op-amp, which is IC741, has number of applications in open loop and in closed loop. In open loop, we have some applications. Some of the applications I list out here. Open loop applications is inverting amplifier. Op-amp can act as inverting amplifier in open loop, and non-inverting amplifier is the another application. It has another application, differential amplifier. It also has another very important application in open loop, which is comparator. These are some of the open loop applications of operational amplifier. And the same op-amp has closed loop applications. As I told you, pin number 6 is connected to pin 2 through some feedback element. Feedback element may be RLC, resistor, capacitor or inductor, and even you can connect the pin number 6, which is the output, to the pin 3 through some feedback element RLC. So if your pin 6 output is connected to inverting negative terminal through some feedback, then that type of feedback is called as negative feedback in op-amp. I repeat, pin number 6 output connected to pin 2, which is a negative terminal, through some feedback element, means pin 6 is connected to pin 2, then it is negative feedback. If pin 6 is connected to pin 3 through some feedback element, then it is called as positive feedback. So in open loop we have, these are the applications. In closed loop we have two cases here, negative feedback and positive feedback. So op-amp has number of applications in open loop and in closed loop with negative feedback as well as positive feedback. We will see some of the applications in negative feedback as well as in positive feedback. In negative feedback, in positive feedback. In negative feedback, we have so many applications. Inverting amplifier, non-inverting amplifier, differential amplifier, summing amplifier. We have summing amplifier usually called as adder. We have subtractor, We have multivibrators also, a stable multivibrator. We have many applications like differentiator, integrator, and also we have log amplifiers. In log amplifiers, we have log amplifier and anti-log amplifier also. We have instrumentation amplifier, filters, waveform generators, etc. Op amp in closed loop with negative feedback amplifier. We have these are the applications. In positive feedback, we have a very important application called Schmitt trigger. Right? So op amp has open loop applications, op amp has closed loop applications. In closed loop applications, we have negative feedback applications and positive feedback application. Positive feedback, we have Schmitt trigger. Negative feedback, we have so many applications. So this is a small introduction about the op amp, symbol and pin diagram and its open loop applications and its closed loop applications. So now we are going to see some of the applications in detail. So we will take differentiator as the first application. So our topic now is op amp as differentiator. Op amp as differentiator. So whenever we discuss operational amplifier applications, so we need to first justify the title. What is our title? Op amp as differentiator. Why op amp acts as differentiator, or how op amp acts as differentiator. The title is differentiator. We can justify it like this. In op amp, if the output V0 is directly proportional to, because it's a differentiator, op amp output V0 is directly proportional to first derivative of input Vi. If we can prove the output voltage of op amp proportional to first derivative of input, then we can justify the op amp application as differentiator. So we supposed to prove with this title, op amp output V0 is proportional to d by dt of Vi. That's the first thing we need to see. Justification of the title. This is the first one. Second thing, we will draw the circuit diagram of op amp as differentiator. As we know, op amp symbol, it has two input terminals, minus and plus, which is at pin 2, pin 3 and pin 6 we collect the output. It has fourth pin at minus VCC, fifth pin with plus VCC. Inside this, we write IC741. So with this op amp, we will try to make the connections as a differentiator. So very simple circuit it is. In order to make it as a differentiator, the non-inverting terminal, I am connecting it to ground, and at the inverting terminal, I usually apply the input through the capacitor. This is my Vi, through the capacitor C, and it is working in negative feedback. So I'll connect a resistor R between the output terminal V0 and the input at inverting terminal. So it is a very simple circuit. First we take the op amp symbol, and to which we will make our connections. Non-inverting terminal is grounded, and to the inverting terminal we need to apply the input. So I'm applying input through the capacitor C, and there should be some feedback. Feedback here is negative feedback. It is very clear. The output terminal is connected to inverting terminal through the feedback R. So the op amp is operating in negative feedback here. So this circuit is differentiator circuit. Op amp as differentiator. First step is title to be justified. In title justification, we will justify it like this. Output voltage is proportional to first derivative of Vi. Second thing, we will draw the circuit. Third thing is, we will analyze the circuit. So here, op amp application is differentiator. So let us apply the input Vi to the inverting terminal through the capacitor C. Let me take some current I is I or I1 is flowing through the capacitor. And in the feedback, let us assume some current is flowing. Let it be IF. Right? So current in the capacitor, input capacitor is Vi1. And the current in the feedback, we assume it as IF. So whenever we discuss the op amp applications, there is a very important thing we need to know is virtual ground. What is virtual ground is, it is very simple. Virtual ground says whatever potential we apply at the non-inverting terminal, the same potential we assume at the inverting terminal virtually. I repeat, whatever potential we apply at the non-inverting terminal, see here in the circuit the non-inverting terminal is connected with ground potential. So due to the virtual ground, same potential we assume at inverting terminal also. This is called virtual ground. So non-inverting terminal potential is virtual ground potential, and due to the virtual ground, what we say, same potential, this is a ground potential, is also available at inverting terminal. This is a virtual ground concept. Right? So, and op amp does not allow any current into the op amp input terminal. So due to that, whatever current I1 is flowing, it passes through this. So I can say now I1 is equal to IF, because no current is flowing into the op amp input terminal due to the virtual ground. So I1 is equal to IF. So let us try to analyze now what is I1. I1 is the current flowing in the capacitor. So what's the equation for current flowing through the capacitor? C, the capacitor C, into d by dt of Vi. So Vi minus 0, I can write like this, is equal to, what is the current in the feedback? IF. IF is between these two terminals. So between these two terminals, the voltage is 0 minus V0 by R. Then in that case, my equation becomes C d by dt of Vi is equal to minus V0 by R. This implies, actually we are trying to write the output voltage equation. So in that case, I can write R, I am taking to LHS side, which is RC d by dt of Vi is equal to minus V0. Finally, I can write my V0 equation as, minus also I am taking to this side, minus RC d by dt of Vi. Now just observe this equation, the output voltage equation of our circuit differentiator. V0 is equal to some constant we are getting, which is minus RC, into d by dt of Vi. So I am writing it as V0 directly proportional to, because this is a constant, d by dt of Vi. Right? So from this equation, I can justify the title again. V0 is the output voltage of our circuit, which is directly proportional to first derivative of Vi, first derivative of Vi. Hence the name differentiator. Why it is differentiator? The output voltage is directly proportional to the input voltage Vi. Hence the name differentiator. So once again, how we are analyzing: first title justification, then circuit, then some analysis. This analysis shows that the output voltage V0 is directly proportional to first derivative of Vi. This is the third step. And the fourth step is we will take some input signal. If my input is sinusoidal, what is the output? If my input is square wave, what is the output? We will draw the input-output waveforms of the differentiator in the next. So, for differentiator, if my input is a square wave, input Vi, if the input is square wave, the output is, let me just extend the dotted lines like this, so that we can draw the output waveform with respect to the input waveform. During positive half cycle of the input, we will get negative spike like this. During negative half cycle, we will get positive spike. Again, during positive half cycle, we will get negative spike, then positive. So this is the input-output waveform of differentiator. If your input is a square wave, the output is spikes. And remember here, during positive half cycle, the output is starting from the negative side. If my input is sinusoidal wave, if this is Vi, then output is differentiation of sine. Cos waveform we will get. So it will be like this. This is my V0. Two waveforms I am showing here. One with square wave, one with sinusoidal wave. If the input is square wave, output is spikes. If the input is sinusoidal wave, output is cos. So there are 4 points we have seen. First, title justification. In this, we are trying to show V0 is equal to d by dt of Vi. This is the first point. Second point, we have drawn the circuit. Third, we did the analysis to show V0 is proportional to d by dt of Vi. This is the third step. After analyzing the circuit and proving that our output voltage is proportional to d by dt of Vi, and the final step is input output waveforms. These are the 4 steps in the op-amp as differentiator, right? In the similar way, we will see another application called integrator. So now the next topic is op-amp as integrator. This is our next topic. So remember here, the same 4 points we need to see. First, title. Justification is the first point. Second point is circuit diagram. Third point, analysis. Fourth, input output waveforms. These are the 4 points. Again, we need to see with the title op-amp as integrator. So what's the first point? Title justification. What is our title? Integrator. So in order to show the op amp as integrator, so we will try to justify the title. The output of op amp circuit, it should act as integrator. Means V naught directly proportional to integration of Vi. If we can prove that the output voltage V naught is directly proportional to integration of Vi, then that is our title. So this is the first step. So keep in mind that we need to prove V naught proportional to integration of Vi. So this is the justification we are going to do. So then next step is circuit diagram. We will go with this. So again, remember always op amp symbol. It has two input terminals. One is minus and one is plus. Inverting input terminal, non-inverting terminal. Inverting input terminal is pin 2. Non-inverting input terminal is pin 3. Output terminal is pin 6. And it has two supply voltages. One is minus VCC. One is plus VCC. Inside the op amp, write IC741. So now, in order to make your circuit as integrator, we need to do the additional connections. So what are the additional connections to this op amp symbol? Very simple. Non-inverting terminal is grounded and the input to be applied. Input Vi to be applied to the inverting input terminal through some element here. We will draw it later. And some feedback should be there between output terminal and input terminal. So here what is the element and here what is the element. As we have already seen just now, the differentiator circuit. In differentiator circuit, the input Vi is applied through capacitor and the feedback element is resistor. So now the circuit is integrator. So in this case, the first input element is R and the feedback element is C. Here is the resistor, here is the capacitor. Circuit, easily you can remember. If you can understand the differentiator circuit, integrator circuit explanation is actually very easy because just we interchange R and C. That's all. This is your circuit diagram. Just see your circuit. Let me take my output as V naught. So this is a circuit diagram. Non-inverting terminal is grounded and the input is applied at inverting terminal through the resistor R and the feedback is connected between output and input. Remember here the feedback is negative. How can you say it is negative feedback? Because the output is connected to inverting terminal. Hence it is negative feedback. So this is your circuit diagram. First is title justification is done and second step is circuit diagram. In the circuit diagram, just we are going for the third step analysis, right? We will assume some current flowing in the circuit. So let me assume some input current I1 which is flowing through the resistor R and let me assume some current in the feedback, let that be IF. So two currents we are assuming here. First current I1 is flowing through the resistor R and the feedback current IF is flowing in the feedback which is capacitor. Now we are going for the third step. Third step is analysis. While going for the analysis, we always remember the concept called virtual ground. What is virtual ground? Just in a simple way, whatever potential available at non-inverting terminal, we assume the same potential is also available at inverting terminal virtually. This is physically grounded. Non-inverting terminal is physically grounded. So due to the virtual ground concept, what we say? Inverting terminal is also at ground potential virtually. Remember, this is physical ground, this is virtual ground. So due to this, now op amp Op amp has a feature that no current enters into the op amp input terminal. So therefore, whatever current I1 we are taking, the same current chooses the feedback path. Then therefore, in that case, I1 is equal to IF. What is I1 in the resistor? So I'll write the equation for I1 as Vi minus 0 by R. The current in this is Vi minus 0 by R. Now, the current in the feedback. Current in the feedback is IF. C d by dt of the potential is 0 minus V naught. So just simplify this equation. Vi by R is equal to 0 minus V naught minus I can take here d by dt of V naught. Just simplify this. C I am taking to this side, Vi and minus also I am taking to this side. RC is equal to d by dt of V naught. But actually I wanted to prove it as integrator. Here we have d by dt. So what I am doing is I am taking integration on both sides. So in that case, integration 0 to t, RC is a constant, I am writing it outside, is equal to differentiation and integration gets cancelled on this side. So this is the equation. Output voltage V naught is equal to minus 1 by RC integration 0 to t Vi dt. Therefore, the final conclusion is, from this equation it is very clear, V naught is directly proportional to integration 0 to t Vi. Hence, after analyzing also, we can justify that output is directly proportional to integration of Vi, hence the name integrator. Third step is done. And the last step is input-output waveform. So, for the integrator, if your input is square, what is the output? During positive half cycle of the input square wave, output is negative going ramp. It goes down. During negative half cycle, positive going ramp. Then during positive, it goes negative. Such that the square wave is the input. If the square wave is the input to the integrator, output is a triangular wave. If your input is a sinusoidal wave, if this is input, the output is cos wave, will get like this, the output. For the two input waveforms we are seeing here, one with square wave and one with sine wave. The input is square wave, output is triangular wave. The input is sine, output we got like this, cos wave. So final conclusion is, there are 4 steps we did in integrator: title justification, second step circuit diagram, third step analysis, and the fourth step is waveforms. Thank you.